Hello, JMats here for round 9 of the last Magic Online Championship Series championship. I know I always say championship twice when I say that. Anyways, GenerationD20.com is the site that you should be going to find all of this wonderful content. This is a very keepable opening hand, has a good lead, hopefully draw planes and can go to Stormfront Pegasus next, but getting a bear out there and then a looter to start searching is also very acceptable. Doomblade could answer early threats. Aether Adept, never going to complain about that. At this point in the tournament, I'm 6-2. I am out of the running for the top 8, so I will not be going to San Francisco for the Magic Online Championship. It said championship again. God, why do I keep doing that? And looks like he wants to bring an answer. So here, yeah, I can't draw into a land. Don't have any white, so keeping the stave off isn't that important. And because of he's playing blue and the chance that there's a frost breath, I'm okay trading my 2-2 for his 2-1 because mine's very fragile. And even here, if he casts something worth killing, I have Doomblade. And I don't know whether that necessarily is worth killing, but I think that turned out okay. Get the satchel out there so I can start hopefully getting into more land, and there's nothing in my hand I really want to get rid of, so looting wouldn't be that profitable at that point. Alright. A nice thing about that is I will have something if I want to bounce with the Aether Adept. And another option there, I could have done Satchel and Stormfront Pegasus. I don't know if Aether Adept was actually the best move there, because I could have got a flyer on the board instead and then waited until he put out a flyer. But either way, yeah, I could have been bouncing that this turn instead of the other way around. Here, if I do the satchel and get a land, then I could cast the Drake, and if I didn't, I could cast the Pegasus. That was kind of my thought. Like, either way, I would be getting something out of the deal, and as it turned out, I was able to get the land. I'm still kind of winning the race, ultimately, unless he gets some things airborne here pretty soon, or has some removal. I should be able to fly over his head to get some damage. He probably isn't attacking with the Mastodon, probably wants to keep that back. Looks a lot like a Sarah Angel. Oh! Memory Adept. Well, that could... And that right there was a mistake. You don't draw a card. When there's 25 cards in the library, you put the people on a 3-turn clock. Or I would have. Now, as it turned out, his move was actually pretty good because the next turn I'm able to swing in and kill it, but at the same time, if he had, I wouldn't have drawn the Oblivion Ring. It was the wrong move. If he'd done that, he could have gotten it off twice, and he probably could have stalled for a win. When you have a 40-card deck, you always use the 10 cards in the graveyard one. Except maybe an Innistrad, but then you wouldn't be playing sealed with this in the format. Right. Oh, lovely. Mind control. So I could satchel before I draw. Ditch those. It's one of those things where if I Frost Breath, I would be getting through for 5 damage, but I might be able to use it more effectively later. Apparently I go aggro, which I'm not completely opposed to that. Like, if we can lock him down, hopefully he doesn't have any good answers in his hand, or even if he doesn't have a flyer. Okay, so since he had no play, I get through for 6. Or by that I mean 1. And then here again, drawing out the land. I can get through for 2. And really the Griffin Sentinel at this point is better than my Drake until I get an answer to his Pegasus, because I can attack in and whittle him down one at a time. If he's out of cards in hand, that's good to see. Use that beforehand. As it turned out, I was drawing into a nice flying answer anyway. Why I didn't... I'm okay with that. Like, my card advantage looting is not going to probably be that beneficial at this point. And trading it for a 2-1 is okay. Also, at this point, getting more and more of those Saprolines to just bounce against his defenses. He, had a land, so now I'm going to have a mighty swarm of... Oh, and Frost Breath. Game over. Yep, he knew it before I had to cast it. So that's good. Game 1 of round 9-1. Activate Windows now. They're harassing me again. Stupid Microsoft. You want me to pay for your product? Well, the sad thing is we actually did pay for it, but my brother George, who you may know from Draft Beer, he, I don't know, has to make everything Linux. It's just an obsession with him. So after we bought the laptop, he turned it to Linux, and then we couldn't find the activation code to get it back to where we wanted it to be. And yeah, long story short, we're going to have that thing popping up probably in videos until the day we buy our next laptop. Or we maybe get sued by Microsoft for a product that we actually purchased legally. There you go. So, here comes game 2 of round 9, and let's see. As far as opening hands go, that's not great. I have no creatures. And mulliganing, I got nearly the exact same hand. Wow. Well, at least I drew a creature. So this game may not go as well as game 1. Of course, he's sorting through his library and getting some good answers. Ooh, got lucky there. So it's almost like I'm going to have a nice curving aggro start, when in fact I kept a hand that only had 2 removal spells. This does kind of bring up an interesting point, like when to use Oblivion Ring and when to use Doomblade. I tend to try to keep my Oblivion Rings back because they're more diverse, but at the same time keeping Doomblades, because you can do them at instant speed. They each offer something relevant. And even the difference between Oblivion Ring and Pacifism. Oblivion Ring shuts down activated abilities. Pacifism does not. So on this, if he plays a creature, there's a good chance I would Doomblade it, just because it would be good use of my mana and I can do it at instant speed. if he lava axes me, there's a good chance I'll just laugh about it and then keep going. And now my hand is just, yes, I only have 3 power on the board. It's going to take me a while to do it, but unless this guy, mind controls or something, it's going to be hard to come up with enough answers versus all of my threats. And that would be a perfect thing to Doomblade. Avast information. So here we go again. Good. That will cut the clock down even more. And still I'm sitting on a landmine. Well, I guess it could be a landmine of removal, because the way I play it normally blows up in my face, but I think gold mine of cards was really what I was going for, not landmine. Okay, there we go. And why not? Another Doomblade. Let's go big or go home. So he doesn't get to draw anything. I'm back to 3 power. Take a couple more turns. At least he's at 1 card. And the Sphinx, so what do we give him? Well, see, he'll take a harbor, and something weird happened there. So he pitched the Harbor Serpent, kept the Frost Breath. And then for me, I went with Pacifism because he doesn't have an activated ability. He could bounce. I mean, doing Pacifism instead of Oblivion Ring means he could unsummon, he could Aether Zadept, he could stave off. All of those get rid of Pacifism and do not get rid of Oblivion Ring. That's the downside. But by keeping the Oblivion Ring, kept my options open. And why not? Let's get another removal spell, just because we're crazy go nuts. I think I got every removal spell in my deck so far. That's where things got ugly. So my Pegasus dies. And I would be trading my Griffin for his Drake, but I'm willing to do to tap him down here because I'm going to get him to 2 life. If he does not get a flyer, I'll get him to 1 life, and then if he thinks that his Drake is going to save him, I can Oblivion Ring and actually get him to all the way dead. And I have a Sphinx of my own that I can't cast. I'm not really even close to casting. So he has a Frost Breath. So then it becomes a question of, do I trade and then have my Assault Griffin be able to fly in? And I decided yes. If I had Oblivion Ringed instead, then he would have added to Frost Breath. It actually probably would have gotten me there a turn earlier. But in the event that he taps out, yeah, not good. So now it's like, wait for a Sphinx. Come on, land. There we go. 1 more land, and I have a hefty answer. And at least 1 more card to boot. And my Pride Guardian. That's right, my Pride Guardian is doing the heavy lifting. So, let's see. Oh, Piker. Piker. Come on, land. There we go. Now he still has that Frost Breath, which unfortunately will be making things uncomfortable shortly. And knowing that he has the Frost Breath, getting the Phantasmal Dragon would give him a target for it. I don't even know if I remembered that he had the Frost Breath at this point when I was actually playing. But a Mono Leak is completely useless at this point in time. Probably should have just taken the bigger pile so I could loot her a couple extra times. And so on his turn, he'll have to tap me down. On my turn, he'll have to tap me down, which will get him save next turn, save the turn after that. No, he's doing it. Interesting. Doing it on the attack, which raises some alarms, making me think, do you have a fireball or something that can knock me out? And in this case, it looks like what he had was he wanted to play aggressive. So pitch that Gorehorn to Nowheresville and see if I can attack in with a looter for the kill. Not exactly the way I imagined winning this game, but it definitely, I mean, I'll take it if I win, and I did. That puts me at 7-2, doing well, and I'll see you for the last round, round 10.